So, how do you pivot and continue to step toward better and better options? That's really the subject of today's podcast and our ongoing series of I Have Cool, Successful Friends with Susie Miller, self proclaimed jack of all trades, master of none. Although, if we were being honest, I would have to brag on her a lot because she's got a lot of cool things going for her. But welcome to the podcast, Susie.
Thank you, Jen. My very first ever podcast, which I'm excited to do with you because I think I'd freak out if it were anybody else. Like, what do I do? What do I say?
And I love that because I think as women, we need to stay relevant and current and like the whole point to me is like lean on your friends. Lean like successful people lean on their networks to help them and I'm happy. I'm happy you're here. Selfishly, I'm like you're doing me the favor. But two, I'm really happy to be your first podcast. I think you are fun and entertaining and I think people need to hear your messages. So, tell us a little bit about your work life, your kind of hero's journey, if you will, of business success because you've had several entrepreneurial experiences. And you're like an artist, a really good one. As long as I've known you, you've been this incredible artist. Susie, full disclosure, Susie and I at one point were going to start a greeting cards company, a really snarky greeting cards
Mhm.
company, which just in the nick of time when cards kind of went, like people are like, we're not sending out real cards anymore. But anywho, so tell us your story, Susie. Tell us all the things.
Okay, first of all, I don't know if everybody knows this, but Jen and I used to be neighbors. And I mean, I miss living by you so much. We did nothing but laugh and screw around and had just a great time. And it has been over 20 years, I think.
It's been a
Since
long time.
Yeah, but we raised our kids together and just had so much fun, and I was going through all of my pictures because I am creating a photo album for my youngest. I pulled out all the photographs during COVID is when I started it, and so I was like, "Oh, just so many pictures that I wanted to send you." So,
Oh,
anyway,
I
I love you,
love it.
Jen. I love you.
Thank
I love
you.
your family
Same,
and everything you guys are doing. So,
same,
um,
same.
me. So I have always been a creative person. I've always been an entrepreneur. I just know that because first of all, I got yelled at when I was in grade school for being too independent. Shocker. And I'm like, why should I ask permission when I can just beg for forgiveness, right? Like just do it. And I was always doodling and creating things for people and I was selling things in 8th grade, and then through high school, I had a lot of art projects, and I remember and I don't know if anybody else out there remembers, but I would do Play-Doh sculpture. I would make my own it was not Play-Doh, bread dough sculpture. It was literally flour,
Red
salt,
toe. Uh-huh.
bread dough. So flour, salt,
Part
and
snack,
water.
part art. Part
No, it
snack,
was not. No, there was a
part
lot of salt.
salty. It was a lot
Yeah,
salty. It was
yeah.
salty.
Yeah, and so you could create the dough was, like, perfect, and I would shape all these, like, Sesame Street characters and use a garlic press for fur, for the Cookie Monster, and then I'd bake it and dry it out and then paint it and mount it to these lovely wooden remember the wooden sculpture, like, piece of wood, and you'd mount things on it?
Mhm.
Like,
Yep.
best mom of the year, whatever. So I was making those and, then in high school, I went to Notre Dame Academy, and it was really a college prep school, and my major was art, and so I was very advanced. I had a great teacher, but of course, I was always freelancing on the side. And then in college, I started this little I don't even know what the name of the company was, but I would do hand-painted sweatshirts and
Oh,
jewelry. This was before our time. Um, And I would just set up a little shop, like, in the mall and sell tons of stuff. I mean, I was just selling, and never saving 1 ounce, not even a dime. I blew that money so fast. Oh, I mean,
On what? On
I
what? What were your first purchases?
Um, well, when I had a paper route, don't forget that, in 6th grade, since we never had candy and sweets in the house, I would buy the Hostess apple pies. I
I
mean,
like
did you
I
remember
like
those?
I like the blueberry pies.
I liked them all.
I gained 30 pounds easily in high school just by having, like, a Hostess blueberry pie every day with
I
lunch.
did, every day. Right after we deliver the papers, let's go get the Hostess fruit pie, eat it, scarf it down before mom and dad find out. So anyway, so I'm trying to remember, all right, so paper route, and then I'm doing the freelancing, then I work at an ad agency, which I hated every minute of it. I have said from a very young age, I never wanna work for anyone because I don't
Why?
want anybody to boss me around,
Oh.
right?
Mm.
I kinda was bossy. So
Shocking.
right, I know. Jen, I like to do what I like to do, and I think independent-minded people, women, we're not bossy. We are, we just know what we want.
We do.
I think we
Not
have to
afraid to get
remember.
it. Not afraid to get it. So
That's right.
you naturally leaned into, and I think in a very enlightened way, leaned into, like, no, this is my preferred work environment, which I think a lot of people are afraid to do. Where do you
Yeah.
think that strength came from?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I just love doing things by myself, and nobody else was gonna do it, so I figure why not? And it was fun to make money and be creative. So, when I worked at the ad agency, which it wasn't very creative. I thought it would be, and it wasn't. So, of course, I had to do something more creative, and I met someone who was an art director there, and we started a company, and Jen, I don't know if you remember this, called Earthbound Environmental Creations.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we had a full line of t-shirts, note cards, and jewelry made on recycled plastic with soy-based inks. I mean, that was in 1990.
Way ahead of your time.
Yeah, and, we would go to all the National Science Teachers Conventions, and our we sold out like crazy. Our booth would be packed, and then we started doing things for, the Nature Conservancy, Davy Tree Company, Simon& and Schuster published the series of coloring and activities books, and that was going really well until it didn't. And,
Isn't that the
oh,
truth of everything?
another very, 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 very important information is if you get into business with somebody, you better be aligned with your goals. I mean,
Mhm.
that's critical. And
Mhm.
I let people take advantage of me, even though everybody and their brother was screaming that I was making some poor decisions. And of course, did I listen? No, because I wanted to do what I wanted to do. So
Mhm. I
I
love that.
I learned.
Alignment is not only, I think, important in a partnership, but I think in a solo experience as well, like really reconnecting because things change.
Yeah.
You change, your stage of life changes,
Yep.
and it's like, does this still align anymore? It is more complicated when you have a partner who, like, now we're not even aligned, and that's crazy.
Yeah, that was not fun. It was not fun. So that kind of fizzled. And then, I have little kids, started having little kids. That's when I met Jen and we started doing Arbonne.
Now, Susie, full disclosure,
What?
when whenever I tell my Arbonne story, I talk about my friend who I had the account, but she was, like, selling skincare out of the trunk of her car,
Well,
picking people up in like the drive-through. Do you remember like every day coming to like I'd hear this knock on my back door and you're like, "Hey," and you'd have a check in your hand and you're like, my friend needs a set." This is the Susie, y'all. This is the Susie. So funny. So fun. We had a good time.
We had a great time, and, I mean, we were in from the very beginning. So
Well, you were. I wasn't. I wasn't at all. And then when you got in was when I decided, like, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. And you are honestly a great salesperson. Like when you talk about doing trade shows and stuff, I remember watching you, and I'm not kidding. You can make friends out of a freaking paper bag.
oh,
You
you're the one
you
to talk.
you
Everybody
can. Literally, like, "Let me just tell you about this and why you absolutely can't live without it." And then, like, you'd thread it through this person's life so that they were like, "Give me 10. Give me 10 of them." I
you're
would
so
just
sweet.
I would sit there and be like, "Oh my gosh, watch this woman." And do you remember when we earned the trip to the Bahamas?
Yes. Yes.
And how we both wanted to go home.
Yeah. Here we are in this gorgeous place having the best time, and we're like, "We need to go home because our kids were little."
That's
We're
right.
so
We
ridiculous.
were
Yeah.
so far away. We were like, "Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, Susie, we can't swim to our children if we need them. We need to go home now." And then it was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, there's a flight out like next Thursday." Like, I don't know, like we thought planes are like taxis. You just go outside and hail one and get back home. So, this is the Susie of my story. I absolutely look back on those times with so much fun. But you were it's really interesting, Susie, to hear you talk about your thought process and your grit. Like you're always willing, like you don't get defeated. You're like, I'm gonna
No.
just try. Tell tell me about that. And then we'll go past Arbonne, but tell me about that. Like why not just decide like, that didn't work out, so nothing's gonna work out, which a lot of people kind of get caught up in.
You know what? It is something I was definitely born with. I can remember from a very young age, I loved it when someone said to me, "You can't do that." I'm like, "Oh, just watch me." I mean, that motivated me so much, and even to this day, I would rather people, you know, underestimate me and then kinda come out above than somebody thinking I'm all that, and like, "Oh, how am I gonna ever measure up?" You know?
Yeah.
So,
Uh,
yeah, that's in my blood, and I am scrappy. I'm also street smart, very street smart.
Yes. Yes. You can make something out of nothing and you've got really great intuition, but you also have this like, come on, let's go. Sort of like we'll figure it out while
Yes.
we're doing it. Like that is definitely part of your DNA.
Yeah, and that's the thing I think a lot of people overthink. When you're getting into a business, most people say, "Oh, I have to do this, and 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 I can't do that, and this is too hard," and, just thinking so far ahead and worrying about things that aren't even happening yet, and, I mean, it's not always good, but really that's the key to kind of fighting through is just, "I'll figure it out when I get there. I'll figure it out when I get there," and guess what? If I don't know, I'm gonna find somebody that does. So
Mhm.
you bring those kind of people into your world.
Yeah.
We all have
Yeah.
gifts, and I don't have all of them. Jen, you're close, but
You're so
I'm always amazed at how you love being on stage. I mean, oh my gosh, you're just a natural. It's
uh,
such a gift.
girl, you do it 3 times and I would not be able to get you off with a hook. I 100% know that. I'd be like, "Susie, get 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 off this stage. Get off the stage."
Wrap it
Alright,
up.
so now Arbonne, we've gone past
Okay.
Arbonne. You do what after Arbonne? And we did well, by the way, just in case anybody's wondering.
We did.
Had a
I
lot
was
of
almost
fun.
driving that Mercedes.
Yeah.
Almost driving that Mercedes. And yeah, we had a great time. And then my kids, it got very complicated with the kids growing up. And I mean, it's all about timing. So then I was just working part time, and my
You're
kids,
creating murals
oh,
for
yes, lots of freelance
yes.
all along the way. Always
Yeah.
paint. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
forgot that kind of thing. But we were living up there still, and my very dear friend Lizanne, our parents know each other, and I met this woman when I lived in Ann Arbor. She and I were both pregnant with our first kids. This is actually before you, Jen. Well, once my kids got into school, grade school, they started wanting nothing but sugar and junk food, right? Well, Lizanne's super health food person. Me, I always loved healthy food. I would eat wheat germ out of a jar, like weird
You
child.
were a healthy girl. Yes.
I mean, I like my sugar too, but
Yes, but we like healthy sugar.
yeah, so we were like trying to trick our children into eating healthy foods. So I had this oatmeal chocolate chip cookie that was so yummy. Jen, I know you've tasted them many times.
Girl, I was a fan. Mhm.
Yeah, oatmeal chocolate chip. I mean, you can't go wrong, right? So we would sneak flaxseed and organic whole wheat pastry flour and wheat germ.
Broccoli. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no broccoli in this one. But so we started giving like, if you're gonna treat, why not have a treat? Why not have some nutrition in it? And then I started selling to all the moms at school, and
Out of
we
the
said,
trunk of your car.
out of the trunk of my car again in a plastic bag, and, the layered look, that was all, and you put a bow on it. Well, and, so then, um, I just went into Whole Foods, and of course, the same thing. I had no idea what I was doing.
But it was like a thing, just for everybody listening, it was a full-fledged brand
Yeah.
that was in Whole Foods. Were you in Costco?
Costco, Publix, yeah, we were nationwide in over 6,000 stores, yep. Among Friends baking mixes, and they're
Among
still
friends.
amazing to this day.
Susie, you never named a cookie after me, and
I know.
to this
You're
day,
bitter.
you didn't have no Tricky Jen cookie,
I
and I
wanted to. I wanted to.
the only
We
saving grace was you didn't name any of your friends, so it was mostly your kids and family, so
right,
I
we had to
could
get through the kids and family, and Liz Ann was in charge of naming. I was just creating all the labels and things like that, but
they were the best cookie, and they were dry mixes,
mhm,
healthy cookie mixes, baked mixes, and you added the wet ingredients, and it was
yeah,
perfect.
and you can make them vegan very easily too. I mean, they would still be popular to this day,
Yeah,
but
100%.
yeah, we ended up having to sell for many reasons, but that led me to
Are
my
they
current.
still around? Is among they're not still around, okay, alright,
Nope, the people
okay.
that bought our company actually ran it into the ground.
That happens.
Mhm. Oh, it happens, yeah, and
It
that
does.
was actually very, very hard. It was,
I'm
and
sure.
it was like a death in
Yeah.
you're grieving it. All my kids were grieving. It was very hard, but you
Yeah,
gotta keep
well,
them.
but let's talk about that though, because I think it's okay to stop and we don't take enough time to acknowledge the emotional, spiritual, and physical involvement in creating something like that that creates a huge impact. And this was like before social media. Like you
Mhm.
were in the stores with your product. You were sample Vanna out
Oh
there
my ugh,
and
this
like
fan.
getting into these stores and getting people to fall in love with your brand. Of course you would grieve after
Yeah,
that thing.
yeah, yeah,
Well,
'cause we birthed that baby,
yeah, you did.
and it was an amazing product, and I mean, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into that. I mean, we had a huge facility. It was really cool, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So,
So what advice do you have for people about allowing themselves to like, hey, this chapter ends and before you move on, like let it go, feel the feels. What
yeah,
advice do you have?
Yeah, definitely you have to grieve. I mean, it's just a grieving process and everybody grieves differently. And it took, oh my gosh, I would say it took between 6 months and a year. It took a long time to get over that. And you just, it is what it is. That's life, you know? Life is up, life is down, and you just have to keep moving forward and find a way to laugh about it. And
Yeah.
that I'm good at. And I know you are too,
Yeah.
Jen.
No,
You know?
you're better. Like, you are
No,
my role
you
model.
are. You
No,
are.
you are my role model for laughing at stuff that I wanna punch people in the throat about. You are
Uh,
gonna laugh, and I'm gonna be like, "On guard!" And you're gonna be, "Ha, ha, ha, this is so funny." And I'm
this
like,
is what I miss about you. What I miss about you. Oh, okay. Now, uh, sorry, this just made me think of our little episode in your home.
I knew
What's that? We got to keep it clean. We got to keep it clean. So, Jen, what were we making? Was it
we
glue that we spilled?
no, it was paint.
Oh,
We were
yes.
painting. It was the
Shocker.
era yeah,
Thing.
it was the era of faux painting.
Yeah.
And you were there because you were the artist
Yeah.
helping me paint my dining room.
Yeah. And so Tricky Jen sort of spilled the paint, or maybe I did. I don't know
No, I
who did.
think I did, like a whole gallon
It
all
was
over the wooden
the
floor.
wooden, the hardwood, the beautiful hardwood floor. And Jen knew that she was gonna get in trouble with her hubby. And so this is the part we have to leave out. But Jen,
Let's just say I knew I was going to have to make amends.
and so then Jen goes, she looks at me and she goes, Susie, scrub, scrub like you've never scrubbed before. And
Scrub, Susie!
oh, we were crying. We were laughing so hard. So many great memories.
And we did get that floor
We did.
super clean.
I'm a girl's girl.
You
Always looking out for you, Jen.
Oh my gosh, scrub,
Tricky
Susie.
Jen.
Scrub. Scrub like you've never scrubbed before. That kind of became our mantra for every hard thing
Yeah,
that we
yeah,
had to do, you know?
yeah.
So, all
Oh,
right. So we're done grieving.
we're done grieving.
And then what happens?
So then I decided, you know what? I want to do my art. I want to spend more time doing my art. This gift that God gave me, you know? I mean, I've been an artist my whole life. I'm a creative person. I just am. It's just who I am. And so the company that I work for now called the GFB, the Gluten Free Brothers.
That everybody knows.
And everybody knows there's
Mm.
actually an episode on Conan O'Brien that is so hilarious. So, sorry, I'm I'm a creative brain, people. It's like squirrel, squirrel. So you just have to keep up with me. Um,
On the
so
gluten-free brothers, it was really on the
uh,
brand.
so Conan's assistant makes these little baskets for the guests that come on Conan's
Uh,
show, right?
okay, okay.
So one of his episodes, and I can send it to you, Jen,
Yeah.
is about all the healthy foods that are in that basket. And Conan is just like, who's going to eat this crap? And so he's going through the whole basket. And of course, the gluten free brothers bites were in there. And he's like, what is this? He's like, oh, the gluten free brothers are in town. They sound like a fun, but I mean, and Conan, you know, Conan, it's
Yeah.
just hilarious.
If you have
So,
the link, I will put it in the show notes so
okay,
people can see it. That would be great.
I will
Yeah,
send that to you.
yeah.
Okay, back to what I was talking about. So, anyway, the Gluten Free Brothers and Among Friends Baking Mixes, my company prior to this, we kind of grew up in the business. We were always helping each other. And when we sold Among Friends, I called up Marshall, who's the CEO, and I said, hey, uh, do you need
I
any
got the
sales help?
connections. You're like, "I got the
Yeah,
connections. I got the vibe."
yeah.
Yeah.
He knows me. I said,
I got the vibe. Yep, go ahead.
how about if I work part time? Because I want to do my art. And he said, "Okay, how about 20 hours a week?" Well, then I started getting into it and I called him back and I said, "There's so much work to be done here. I think I need to do 30 hours a week." And in the meantime, I'm figuring my art. How am I gonna do this? And then a week later, he called and said, "You wanna just work full time?" And I said, "Okay." And that was my thorough, interview
Interview.
process. 8 years later, you know,
Uh-huh.
uh, so I love my job. I'm director of sales for a natural foods company called the Gluten Free Brothers, but it enables me, because I work from home, to have the flexibility. And then in the evening, on the weekends, that's when I'm still creating my art. And being an artist is to do that full time can be it's challenging.
Yeah.
So I have the stability of having a full time job, and then I can be creative in my spare time. And
Yeah.
I it's really the best of both worlds for right
Yeah.
now in my life.
Yeah. Well, and I loved seeing, and I didn't know any of this except that I saw on social media your gallery openings
Yeah.
and where you're setting up and you're like, "Oh my gosh." And I'm like, "I probably can't afford Susie anymore, but I love her work." Like so good. So, it's so good. We will put your is it do you have an Etsy store? Where do people find you?
I have a website.
Great. So we will put the link there for people that are like, "Where is she?" We will put the link there. How is that going? What are I know you're using some of your sales and marketing because I can see it
Mhm.
100% in everything that you're doing. But how is that going? Is it I know it's probably emotionally rewarding. Is it as big as you'd like it to be? What are your plans?
Well,
Well,
since you asked, Jen,
please
um,
tell us, Susie.
it started out I was super excited because I found this place called Art Storefronts, and they said, "Okay, we can build your website for you, and then we'll give you all the tools for social media." Had an interview with her to figure out what would work for me and what I wanted to do. And she said, I said, "Well, how much time will this take each day?" 15 to 20 minutes for social media. And so I got my website built. It's absolutely beautiful. And then I did my first post, and that took me about 5 hours. I was sweating. I'm like, "What? This is so hard." I was just like, "I can't do it." I'm telling you, it's been one of the hardest things I have ever done, and I was putting so much pressure on myself, of course, and
Mhm.
because I gotta do it perfectly, and so I'm like, "I have to post every day, and you have to do it at this specific time because this is when everyone's on." And I swear, I would just start sweating. I'm like, "Ah." And then I finally said, "Okay, knock it off. You need to calm down. Get a hold of yourself."
You're at a 10. You need to be at like a 4.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I didn't have my tricky Jen to tell me that. I just had myself. And I just said, "Okay." I was getting so stressed out, and I finally said, "I'll do what I can do." So now I post when I can, which is not very often. It's very erratic, which they said is the worst thing to do because you won't gain a good following. I'm like, "Okay, it is what it is." So eventually I'll get there. This
Yeah.
week, probably not, you know?
Listen, we all have 5-hour posts.
Oh,
You
I
have to
got
be
terrible at this.
you have to be bad in order to get good. That is
Mhm.
100% the
Yeah.
truth. But especially I think for art, I think it's simpler than you think. You might be overcomplicating it.
Yeah.
Because I follow a lot of people on Instagram and literally all they do is post their art. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of repetition, by the way. They just
Yep.
post their art. Um, you could be uh, starting a YouTube channel where you're literally just talking. If you can talk and paint at the same time, or talk and do your art, and just kind of people love
Mhm.
watching that whole experience. With link to my store below. And yeah, we're gonna talk. We it's not
That
as it's
sounds awesome.
I'm telling it's not as the new thing now, Susie, is to use your day and your content, like your day to day recording as
Mhm.
your content. So here I am. You set your camera up,
Yep.
you're painting, da 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 da, bam, like literally 8 seconds, 8 seconds. Then
It's
you put
not hard. And I
you
did
put
videotape myself setting
yeah.
up for a I was like, "Okay, that was not bad."
We
I was
don't
proud of it.
videotape, we record now. We don't
Oh,
videotape.
we were
We
see I
just
mean, you guys didn't realize this, but this is a therapy session for me. A learning a YouTube
Nay on the idio day.
recording.
You're
Okay.
gonna you're gonna date us both. I have
Let me
it on
write
my
that down.
I have it on my Betamax. It's on my Betamax.
Oh, okay, now you're no, I'm not there.
Oh my gosh. Well, Susie, I remain motivated and excited by watching you and all you're doing. I honestly and truly knew I had to have you on this podcast because I've never actually been able to say how proud I am of all that you've done. Not that you need to be proud, that my pride in you means anything, but it is really cool to watch your girlfriends succeed. It's really cool to watch your girlfriends start again. And it's really funny because people right now, like in their midlife, are going, "Oh, I'm starting again." I'm like, "You're not starting again.
You're
You're
evolving.
realigning." Yeah, you are.
Right.
You're evolving and
Mhm.
realigning. And this time, without, let me pull out the list, without the burnout, the chasing, the crazy, the doubt, and I'm having fun while I'm doing it,
Yep.
like all of that. And you are the epitome of that. And I just had to have you on so that one, my friends could meet the Susie in all of my stories, but
Oh, you're
also
hilarious.
okay.
I
No,
miss you so much. I just Jen, you're the best. I mean,
we
honestly, I love watching you. I feel the same way about you. I'm so proud of you and wish that I lived closer and I jump up on that stage with you and we would do some fun little dances.
well, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it work. And we'll have to do more than podcast once every 10 years.
Our
And
talent show, the talent show.
Susie and I were in dance classes together, just
Yeah.
FYI. So
Yep.
we got that going for us. But I love you so much. Thank you for being on, and like keep being you, man. You are one of the coolest people I know. So,
Right back at you, girly. It was so fun. It was really fun. Thank you, Jen.
all right, we'll talk to you soon, Susie.
Okay.